We're watching a very high-class player.
This is when you know everybody's at his best.
Aha, it's another show on a Sunday. Apologies for that. Welcome everyone to the 360 Live. I just got back from Dubai. Therefore, there was no show yesterday. I would have loved to put out a show yesterday because there's lots happening, but maybe it's even better today because we have got some results. And also, as we know, South Africa, Sri Lanka up against it. We got some results with New Zealand and England, and also Australia and India in the Border-Gavaskar trophy. Some incredible cricket, very good on the eye, very entertaining stuff. I followed the progress of this game while I was over there in Dubai. I was there for a MasterCard event, by the way, a quick evening function where I had to say a few words. I hope the fans and the crowd who was there enjoyed every moment of it. I shared a little bit of the behind the scenes of my career, my life, my ups and downs during my career. So I really enjoyed sort of touching base again with the past. It's always nice to reflect a bit on some key moments in your life. I specifically spoke about 2006 and 2007, where I went through a huge dip, had to fight through it mentally. And then 2008, the test match at Headingley against England, where that was sort of the breakthrough for me. It kickstarted my career. And the big dip of 2006-07 was out of the way. Anyway, Border-Gavaskar trophy, we can pull that graphic up again, guys. As I warned everyone around the cricketing world, I said, watch out, the Aussies will be back. They don't just fade away, guys. This team has had that reputation for many years. You can get on top of them from time to time, but they love punching back, and they don't just go and sit down and say, you can walk right over me. They are playing in Australia after all, and playing at home, there's big pride. I heard Pat Cummins speaking about how proud they are of the culture they've created for so many years, and the fans expect performance. So going down 1-0 put a lot of pressure on them, but usually they perform well under pressure. And that was the case in the second test match at Adelaide, the day-night test match. I want to know what you guys think of day-night test match cricket, as I find it very, very entertaining and absolutely love it. So there are the scores as well, guys. Incredible test match to watch. India not getting a lot in that first innings, 180 odd. Wasn't enough. And we heard Pujara speaking about 250. That would have been a very good number. And I agree with him. And if you think about it, and if you look at the dismissals, India could have cruised to 250 with not a lot of effort. Some cheap wickets, some, I think, soft dismissals is what you call it. And unfortunately for India, coming about 70, 80 short in that first innings, I believe Australia taking full advantage. They were in trouble initially. And in walked Travis Head, right? Really turning the game upside down just as Bumrah got some momentum. And Travis Head, an incredible knock of 140 at 141 balls. Almost looks like a ODI game, or maybe even a T20 on a tough wicket, T20 wicket. Those are the kind of scores you see. You don't even have 120. Well, you have 120 balls in T20s. But what I mean, 100% strike rate. What a fantastic knock. And I saw him jumping around with his first 10, 20 deliveries, almost looking scared at times. And I don't mind being quoted about it because I actually want to talk to Travis about it. I've got his number. But when he's scoring so many runs, there's nothing you can really tell a guy that's in form. But I would love him to really keep that back foot a bit more stable as he jumps a bit to the leg side initially in his innings. Later on, he doesn't do that. And for him, I think to get better starts and to be more solid in the first 10, 20 balls that he faces, he needs to work on keeping that back foot flat for longer. That'll give him the base and make sure that he doesn't play the wrong lines. You could see him opening up a lot early on, and that's because that back foot, he very often gets early on his toes with that back foot and he jumps to the leg side with it, which shows a bit of, generally that was a sign of fear. I don't think he's scared. I just think there's a very good area short of a length that he doesn't like, and his tendency is to jump to the leg side and push at the ball. Got away with it early on in the innings, and once Travis Head gets going, that back foot gets stable, it becomes his anchor, and then he's unstoppable. He scores at a rapid rate. He is a captain's nightmare, and he was definitely a big headache, excuse the pun, a headache for Rohit Sharma in this test match, scoring a match-winning 100 when Australia was under pressure. That was the big moment, guys. And those are the moments I loved in my career as well, knowing that if I get out now, the team is going to be in trouble. I have to. This is make or break. And that's what Travis Head would have thought when he was out there, losing all kinds of partners at the other end. And he decided to counterpunch. And counterpunch meaning looking for runs, good intent. And once that back foot got a bit more stable, he got into great positions with the full deliveries, the short deliveries, really penetrating the field all over the ground, almost playing 360 cricket in the test match, which is great to see. And what a great dog. So congrats to Travis Head. Unfortunately for India, not looking good, lost a bit of momentum. It's still 1-1. It's not all doom and gloom. But remember now, all those factors start playing a role. They are in Australia. The crowd will be all over them now. The press will be talking about the weak performance they had. The press will be putting pressure on the batters who didn't seem to be consistent or fluent at all. Didn't look comfortable at the crease. And maybe it's got to do with the day-night cricket, the ball moving a bit faster, a bit more movement. I did warn you guys about this bowling attack of Mitch Starc, Pat Cummins, Hazelwood, who was injured, but Scott Boland came in. Those are dangerous bowlers when the ball's moving around a bit, when there's a bit of pace and bounce on the deck. And they proved me right. Look at Mitchell Starc, six wickets in that first innings. He bowled at a rapid pace, got the batters to jump around, and 2 in that second innings, so 8 for him in the game. And Pat Cummins coming good in the second innings. The complete opposite to Starkey, getting 2 in the first innings and 5 in the second. And it's been a while since we've seen Cummins bowl this well. So a welcome return for him as captain. When the team needed him most, he stood up. And what a fantastic performance. And we got to mention Marnus Labuschagne. Labuschagne is how you pronounce it, by the way. It kills me to listen to the commentators because this guy's from South Africa. He's pretty much an Afrikaans boy, same language as me. And in South Africa, you pronounce it Marnus Labuschagne. We'll talk about languages in a minute, and I hope you guys enjoyed that Hindi insert. It was very funny, and I found it very entertaining looking at my own video. Just quickly on Marnus Labuschagne, he came in late in that evening and faced a rapid boomerang, Siraj aggressive, and he set the foundation for the Aussies to really come out the next day and to build on that. Yes, he got out for 60-odd, but there was a very, very important 60 to set up guys like a Travis Head, who ultimately went out to win the game for Australia, who didn't have to bat the night before. Imagine Travis Head late at night with a moving pink ball and a boomerang and a Siraj. I don't think he's surviving there. But a very sound technique with Steve Smith, Marnus Labuschagne. Those guys set the foundation, didn't score, didn't knock the lights out, didn't take the game away from India, but they set it up. And sometimes that is more important in Test match cricket than actually the guy who goes out and scores at a runner ball, which Travis Head did. But the foundation was laid. It made it easier for him not to have to hang around there. You could come out and play his game. All right, we can pull that graphic up again quickly, guys. Apologies, I did drift a bit. Here we go. So we'll cover that Hindi question in a minute as we quickly look at the star performance for India in a losing case. 4 wickets for Bumrah. He did exceptionally well. Also Mohammad Siraj, and we'll talk about him and Travis Head colliding out there at Adelaide. Had a few words with each other. We called him Mia Magic. It was his nickname at RCB. Don't ask me why, but Mia Magic got 4 wickets and he really stuck to his guns well. Maybe questionable giving Head a send-off after scoring a match-winning 100, but that is Siraj for you. I love his enthusiasm and his excitement and his drive to want to win games of cricket. What's my thoughts about Siraj and Travis Head's rivalry? Krupa, thanks for that. I love a bit of banter in the cricket game. I mean, what was said out there, I don't really care unless he went over the line. So what is over the line? I think that is personal stuff, religious stuff, racial stuff. That'll be crossing the line, my opinion. And I'm by no means promoting swearing out there because that is not allowed. But if there was the odd swear word because of the friction and the heat of the battle, I'm happy to overlook that. I never minded guys swearing at me, Mitch Johnson, whoever, Anderson. It felt to me like that's what Test cricket should be like, in your face. Yes, I mean, question marks, swear words. I don't know. I'm not going to say yes or no. I personally didn't mind people coming hard at me as long as they didn't cross the barrier of getting personal, religious-wise or racially. etc. You know the boundary lines, guys. You know what I'm talking about. The worldly views of where you don't cross the line. You've got to respect other people's religions, cultures, religious views, and race. And as long as you sort of cover that, in my opinion, you can have a go at each other. Find a way to get into under the batter's skin. You know, I enjoyed that challenge and I enjoyed that battle. So I didn't mind it from Siraj. I didn't mind Head coming back at him, and it's beautiful to watch. At the end of the day, some people described it as Travis Head and Mohammad Siraj setting up a coliseum, and almost like the gladiators fighting out there. That's what you want to see. That's entertaining, and that's Test cricket for you. That's the ultimate challenge. You don't want a boring cricket game, right? So please don't misquote me by saying AB promotes bad language on a cricket field. I don't. What I do promote is competition at the highest level in the fiercest manner, and I don't care what Travis had said, as long as he didn't get personal with those views. Anyway, there's a picture of the two of them. Siraj giving a bit of a send-off. I mean, that's questionable because Head won the game for them. 140 off 141 balls. Incredible knock. But it just shows you the passion of Mohammad Siraj. All right, let's talk about languages, guys. Hindi. What did you think of that? There we go, Krupa. My Sud pure Hindi is better than your pure Hindi. Thank you very much. It was AI, and I did ask my team to pull it up. I think they did a fantastic job. Yes, I've heard from them as feedback that the choices of words and the way the sentences were phrased was a little bit too correct in a way. And I know exactly what you guys mean, because there's an Afrikaans language that I speak, and you get certain Afrikaans-speaking people who are very, very correct, and it's almost difficult to listen to them. So yes, I know that's become the norm these days, where you sort of slang up your language a bit. You throw some English into the middle of the Hindi there to make it sound a bit more conversationable, if that's a word. And same with Afrikaans. We put a lot of English words in there. It's just part of life. It's the globalization of languages, right? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be doing more of that, and hopefully we can throw a little bit of easier Hindi in there, easier understandable Hindi, and maybe, who knows, in a year or two I'll be able to do it myself. But please give me some comments, guys. Give me feedback on that. Did you guys enjoy it? Are there some of you around there who speak Hindi and don't really understand English as well that find this helpful? I hope so. That's the reason why we do it, to sort of capture a bigger audience and have more people understand what I'm trying to say, and more people to have fun with me. Very interesting. One more question on or one more comment. I love your Hindi episode. Try Punjabi. Well, Navdeep, who knows? We can do 10 different languages, maybe a bit of Spanish. I don't know if they are very serious about the cricket in Spain. Maybe they are. If there are some Spanish people listening, please let me know. I know there's cricket in most parts of Europe. I mean, in France, I've heard they play. In Hungary, all kinds of countries I never thought did play cricket. They actually play. So maybe one day there is a bit of a role for me to play in helping developing the game in different countries of the world. It'd be great to see. Maybe Iceland, and we all can go, oh. Anyway, if you guys watch the World Cup football, I think it was the previous one in 2019 or whatever. We saw Iceland doing well there. Italy's captain is Joe Burns, by the way, former Australian cricketer. He's captaining Italy. Can you believe that? I didn't know that. Thanks, team, for letting me in on that. So let's globalize cricket even more, guys. I know it's a global game, but there are plenty of countries that we don't even know about that are playing cricket. So it would be nice to sort of get a bit of feedback from all of you who are listening in from Italy and Hungary and Iceland. I don't know where you are, but please let me know if you guys are playing, and if you maybe one day want me to come and visit, and maybe I can help out with a couple of technical stuff, or just help you guys out with the structures of your cricket team. Next up, Rohit Sharma. What do we say about Rohit, guys? Him as captain, I know he's under the pump. I have a lot of respect for this guy. I know what kind of class player he is, and the minute you start doubting him, he sort of finds a way to prove everyone wrong. Is this too late for him? I don't know. I know a lot of press out there, a lot of journalists, a lot of his fans and people that follow him are putting him under the pump, saying that he hasn't scored runs. As captain, he's under pressure. Bumrah captain the first test match. They won there. Now he's back, and now they lose. So I know it looks bad. I don't wish this kind of pressure on anyone. We all go through it though, and I'm pretty sure Rohit will find a way to stand up again and find his feet. I think he's a wonderful leader, always very calm. But in saying that, you still have to lead by example, and it's very difficult when you're not scoring runs to be happy out there and to lead from the front. So I really hope Rohit will be back scoring some runs, because there are some other batters who are in great form. And yes, there is the argument of Bumrah that looked really comfortable as captain. He's leading from the front. So yes, it's all up for debate. I want to hear what you guys think. I don't want to make any silly comments out here, but let me know what you guys think about Rohit's captaincy. I think one thing we need to remember, this Test series is a marathon and it's not a sprint. So no need to panic yet. I think Rohit should stay on as captain, needs to find form. That's the most important thing for him, I think, is sort of just really get into the nets, find your movement again, your rhythm and your bubble as a batter, and the captaincy will happen naturally. Alrighty, New Zealand versus England as well is going on. We know England won back-to-back Test matches. They will cover that in a minute. What are the mistakes the current Indian team players are doing? We'll cover that in a second. Let's just talk about England, New Zealand, guys. A bit of an upset there as England found a way to go up 2-0 against New Zealand, knocking them out of the WTC championships. And that is huge. It's big news for everyone. Very inconsistent performances from New Zealand. Go over to India, win 3-0, come to home and lose 2-0 all of a sudden. I mean, it is very, very weird. And I don't know how that happens, but yes, England is a quality outfit, but New Zealand with their tails up, this was a big surprise result for me, as England, just used up all their experience and also got some new blood in there. Braden Cars bowling at the speed of light and finding a way to get a lot of those New Zealand scalps. But hundreds from Joe Root, from Harry Brook once again. Wonderful performance. And I've told you guys before, in Test match cricket, the name of the game is you've got to get runs on the board in order to give the freedom to your bowlers so they can carry those catches for longer periods of time. And England found a way to sort of get those catches away when they were batting and gave them a huge lead, set up the whole Test match for them, and their bowlers can just go out there, carry their catches for a long period of time, and New Zealand were found wanting. So New Zealand out of the WTC, and with South Africa and Sri Lanka playing today, we'll cover that in a minute as well. It's possible that it could be a three-horse race, as if South Africa find a way to win this Test match, Sri Lanka will be knocked out as well. So then it will be up against India, Australia, and South Africa, a three-horse race. So very interesting. Final can be any of those three guys, but maybe Sri Lanka still, if they find a way to come back against South Africa, then obviously they'll also still stand a chance. As we quickly look at the log there, that's what I'm talking about. India and Australia swap positions after that last result in Adelaide, as Aussie in the top of the list. By the way, more news, if South Africa find a way to win this Test match now against Sri Lanka, they're in a very good position. I know they stumbled a bit this morning, but I still feel that lead is enough to go out and win that Test match against Sri Lanka, considering that Sri Lanka is batting at the back end of the Test match days 4 and 5. Not easy. The wicket will be tough. Then South Africa will knock Sri Lanka out of the WTC, and South Africa will jump to first place. So, wow, big things for South Africa as things are lining up really well. Look at that. Great Test performance so far. It's still live. It's not done and dusted. And South Africa had a fantastic opportunity this morning to sort of settle that, to get a 350, 375 lead and almost take their win percentage up to 99.9. They didn't, and I think it's more like 80-20. As it's 282 for 8 at lunchtime now, and the lead is 312. So I can't see them getting another 48. And 350 I would be very comfortable with. 312 to 320 I think is chaseable, guys. And a little bit naughty of SA to let Sri Lanka back into the game. They lost 5 wickets this morning with a run out, and that's where things changed. An unforced error, as Bavuma and Tristan Stubbs found each other at the middle of the crease, had a bit of a chat there. And when Stubbs turned around, the bails was off. Not quite like that. But yes, a bit of a misunderstanding and an unforced error where they were completely in control. And it just shows you sometimes it's the small things that turn games on its head. Travis Head again. There we go. That head last time comes up again. Ryan Rickleton, great 100 in that first innings. I know Tristan Stubbs played fantastically well. as well. And then also Themba Bavuma with a fantastic run of form. Kyle Verreynne as well, 100. So big runs for the batters there. And this was a wonderful knock from Verreynne, giving South Africa a great lead. He batted with the tail enders of the majority of this innings, guys. And it's quite tricky to handle that and to steer your way through your innings, not knowing when to go, when to pull back, when to take one, when to give the tail end of the strike and when not. It's a tricky situation, and you've got to be a classy player to pull that off. So well done, Kyle. I know he's very proud of that 100, and all of South Africa are very proud of him. So well done with that 3-12 lead with 2 wickets. What's your final score? 2 wickets to go. I think 321. I can't see South Africa getting much more of a lead than that. 325, I'll even take that. And I do feel that's enough. I still give South Africa 80 to 85% chance of winning. But there is a little door that's opened up, and I don't like that. I could have closed that door completely for Sri Lanka, and they didn't. And hopefully South Africa don't pay for that. But let's look at all the positives. It's end of day 4. South Africa will have 2 new balls if Sri Lanka don't go at a rapid pace. Remember, it's 80 overs for the new ball. So considering Sri Lanka goes at 3.5 and over, which they shouldn't do more than that. It's the back end of a test match. The wicket is slow. It's not easy to score. Then they will have a bite at that new ball at the back end of tomorrow if Sri Lanka bats really well. But that morning session tomorrow, I think, yes, South Africa will look to get 1 or 2 wickets today, maybe 3. Make sure they don't run away with it. And then they have a morning session. And generally morning sessions at Berga, which is former Port Elizabeth, generally morning sessions at first hours where you get wickets. That's where the game moves forward. So the name of the game will be for South Africa, keep the run rate really low. Make sure you do the disciplines and the basics really well. Keep them quiet and don't give them a sniff. Hopefully you'll get them 3 or 4 down today and make that morning session talk. If they get away with it, luckily there's that last form of defense, which is that new ball tomorrow, later on tomorrow. Alrighty, question on the pink ball. Let's move to that. I saw a little question off the pink ball. So what's your opinion to tackle the pink ball, especially under the lights? First of all, I love day-night test cricket. I really do. I wish we had more of them because it's very entertaining, not so much for the batters. The ball seems to move around a bit more. The ball picks up a bit more pace under the lights. So it really is not easy. You saw a lot of players just play the line of the ball, and there's no time to adapt with sea movement. We're generally on slower decks. You get time to just do the little bit of adjustment at number 99 when you see the ball moving away. On a quick wicket, you don't have that time. All you can do is play the line, and it's up to the cricketing gods to look after you. And I mean, a lot of batters found that edge just too fast. I saw, is it Max Sweeney? I think Bumrah got him out. That wasn't under the lights, but the deck was really quick there. At Adelaide, there's no time to adjust, and the ball just finds the edge, and you're out of there. A lot of wickets fell like that in the test match, and that's got a lot to do with under the lights in particular, not so much that Bumrah wicket off McSweeney, which was actually daytime. But I enjoy the entertainment factor of day-night cricket, off the pink ball. Sure, I've never played a day-night test match before, but I think it's got more to do with the lights coming on and the temperature of the day cooling down a bit, wicket getting a bit harder, maybe a bit of moisture in the air, and the ball just flies through. There's a bit of sea movement. And I think that's why Australia really had a lot of fun out there. They have a lot of good bowlers who know exactly what they're doing when the ball is fast off the deck and when it's a little bit of swing and sea movement, where I think Bumrah's fantastic with that. Siraj still finding his feet, starting to understand his skills, a little bit less experienced than the Aussie bowlers in that. And also for the rest of the Indian seamers, a little bit inexperienced, bowling on seaming decks, swinging decks, fast decks, where you need to use your short stuff. There's a question of Dale Steyn as well. SA should play pink ball in South Africa. I agree. I would love that. And I had a little giggle when I saw this because South Africa notoriously is one of the hardest wickets to play on for batters, especially against seam bowling. The ball already moves around a lot. There's a lot of stuff happening out there when you're batting in South Africa, especially with a new ball as an opening bat. Now you want to come in with a day-night test match here in South Africa. I think it will be incredibly entertaining. I don't see the test matches lasting longer than 2 or 3 days. which has been the trend for most day-night test matches, but especially here in South Africa. I think it'll be a huge battle for the batters. It would be great to see. I think we can pick some really good grounds, like up in the Highveld, maybe Centurion Park, which generally is a really good wicket. And I think under lights, it'll be fast, but it won't be unplayable. I think some of the coastal wickets will be almost too tough to play on, like in Cape Town, Newlands. I can't imagine having to bat under the lights there at night time. Even the Wanderers, it seems a lot. It's a lot of sea movement with general normal test cricket. Now at night time, 9 p.m., I wouldn't want to put my gloves on and my helmet and go and stand there facing guys like Boomerang and Mitchell Stark and the likes of that. It might be a great challenge. But let's hope we see some day-night cricket in South Africa in the future. I would like to see some day-night cricket at Centurion Park and some of the flatter wickets around the country. Moving on, guys, I'll take a couple more questions on Virat maybe. I saw one about Virat. I'll pull that up. What advice would you give to Virat at the moment regarding the same mode of dismissal in every match? I wouldn't say every match, but yes, he's had this issue of following the ball on a hard length for quite some time. What advice do you give to someone like that? He's one of the greatest players of all time. I think it's got a lot more to do than just that, guys. I mean, there's big pressure on him. It's the back end of his career. We don't know how many years he's got left in him. Obviously, there's family to think of. There's a lot of pressure from left, right, and center on him. So I really feel for him. I still think he's playing great. He got a ton in that last test match. But I heard the commentators really having a go about his technique, which is disappointing, especially with a guy that's just come off a century. I think it's a bit harsh and a bit uncalled for. We all have our, I would say, our weaknesses with our techniques. I don't think Virat's got a lot of weaknesses, except for he likes bat on ball. And sometimes it's not easy. I mean, the ball starts on middle stump, especially with those left-handers, and just leaves the bat. And I saw him following it a bit. And on a fast deck like the Adelaide Stadium at nighttime, where there's not a lot of time to react, you tend to find your weaknesses tend to be exposed. And that's just one of those things. Virat's still one of the greatest players to ever play the game. He's fresh off 100. So let's keep backing him and follow this man through with the next test match at Brisbane. And I'm expecting another big 100 from him there. So, yes, he's got that area outside off that he needs to work on. He's a bit naughty there sometimes. I was naughty at some strokes as well. Every batter has got his flaws. Look at Travis Head. He scored 100. But he jumped around in his first few balls, going to leg side, almost looking like he's worried about the fast delivery. And the next minute he exploded. Maybe that's the answer for Virat. When he feels he starts nibbling there, instead of trying to be more compact, just let it go and hit the ball even harder. Free your hands over the offside. And if you find the edge there, maybe it'll fly over the slip Gordon, like I saw Head do a few times in his innings. So maybe that's the advice that he needs. Abi, what advice would you give to Virat at the moment? Oh, I already took that question. While that the limelight is taken by your white ball prowess, talking about me now, thank you. Your test career is extremely underrated. I thought I did okay in test match cricket. It doesn't get the recognition it deserves. I keep watching random highlights of your knocks. Thanks for that. I mean, I had a great time playing test cricket. I still think it's the greatest format. And some of my most enjoyable knocks and my knocks that I'm proudest of definitely came in the test format. Because purely it's always a mental battle. It's never just you walk out like a T20 match and you look up and 40 balls later you're 90 not out and you go, oh, wow, I don't even know how that happened. I just had a bit of fun out here. In test match cricket, there are always patches during or in your path to get to 100. There are always moments where you've got to battle it out against a fast bowler or a spinner who's on top of his game and he's got hold of you and he knows your weaknesses so well and you've got to fight that battle out there. And I loved getting over those challenges. And some of my most rewarding knocks of my life was battling it out there for a full day, for 6, 7, 8 hours for the team and taking the helmet off and saying, boys, that was for you. So that's why I love Test cricket. And I had a nice career in Test matches. Really enjoyed being there for the team. Loved taking slip catches and loved standing behind the stumps with the bowlers running in, Dale Steyn, Vernon Philander, Morne Morkel, and just having fun out there. I loved getting a team wicket when we all got together. So good. All right, there was a question about singing and music. Let's pull that up quickly. Share us your experience with Ampi de Priya while singing for Show them who you are. That came out when I was in Australia, I think 2008 to 2012, somewhere there, one of those series. I can't exactly remember which one it was, but I was incredibly inspired with my cricket. And I thought, let's get a cricket song out there. I want to let the listeners know what I think of when I play cricket. And it's always been this. It's like especially Test cricket, it's an emotional challenge. It's a challenge on your character. And my answer to that was, show the world who you are, show them your heart and your character and how you're going to fight, not just for yourself, but for your team and your country. So that's what the song is about. It's a cricket song, and I thoroughly enjoyed recording with Ampi. It was a much harder journey than I thought. It wasn't easy out there in the studios, but we wrote these songs and we had a lot of fun in doing so. All right. Moving on to the next one then, guys. Thanks for that question. Who would you rather face, Warnie or Stark? Wow, Mitchell Stark, the problem with that is I played IPL with him in a team for RCB. He's too nice a guy for me to be intimidated by him. He's a very gentle, very well-mannered, good-hearted guy. And we got along really well. I have the world of respect for him. And I love playing against him as well. He's one of the greatest fast bowlers of all time. But I was never scared of him because I knew he was too nice to be rude to me. Unlike, by the looks of it, with Head and Siraj. I don't know. Maybe they missed that year they were together at RCB. I don't know. I thought they were great friends. But it shows you the passion coming out when you're playing for your country. Starkey was always in my face. But I always had a bit of a giggle thinking, nah, I know you too well, mate. There's no way she can be rude to me. You don't mean that. Anyway, Warnie is the answer. And rest in peace, Warnie. We all miss you. I hope you're looking down at this incredible cricketing world and all the fantastic games going on. I know that's a bit weird, me talking directly to him, but I know he's out there somewhere. He was one of the most incredible bowlers I ever faced in my life. Very intimidating. And only later on in my career realized he's an incredibly generous, kind man. He had his things and his moments with his life, his personal life, made the tabloids a lot, I know. So didn't always look great in the press. But I can tell you, man to man, always had incredible respect for me as a person. And I'll never forget that. 2006, I was out for a beer with Boucher, and Warnie came up to us and said, "Can I sit with you guys? Welcome to Australia." And he was so kind. And he wasn't so kind on the pitch, don't worry. He was in my face. He worked me over. Very, very, very clever, very smart cricketer. So that's the answer, guys. Shane Warne, fantastic player, and he will be missed. He'll never be forgotten. If one of the SA20 teams, this is the last question, by the way. Darshan, thanks for being a super fan. Really appreciate you. If one of the SA20 teams offered you a coaching role, would you take it? Which team would you love to work for most? The answer is no for now. I won't say never, and I feel I've answered this kind of question quite a lot. Will I ever play cricket again? I'll never say never. There are some senior leagues and masters leagues that I am considering. The reason for that is it's only like 10 to 14 days at a time. I can take my family with. It's not long. It can be during family holidays, school holidays. It won't disrupt the family priority too much. And it will be a bit of a holiday for the kids. And maybe they can watch their dad play now that they're a bit older. So I'm considering that down the line in the future. I can't see myself playing professional cricket again at the highest level, IPL, stuff like that. Those days are gone. You guys know about my eye as well. At least I can still see. But facing guys like a Bumrah and Rashid Khan at night now will not be a good idea. It'll be dangerous. I still think I'll hit a couple, but I think it'll be dangerous. Anyway, no coaching role for now. At the SA20, it will be Pretoria Capitals, purely because I live here. It'll make sense down the line to join them, and I won't have to travel much. I'm right here. They play most of the games at Centurion Park. And obviously for India, RCB, at the IPL, for India, at the IPL. Team RCB, maybe one day there will be a role for me. We'll wait and see. The problem with that is it's 3 months at a time. There are auctions. There's a lot of commitment from a coach, and I'm not quite there yet, guys. I want to be with my family. I want to watch my kids grow up. I don't want to come back after 3 months and see my daughter is become a woman now. I know 3 months, it doesn't sound right, but you come back and you see different traits, personality changes, mood swings all of a sudden. You realize that they're growing up, they're getting big, and I really want to be there for that. And if I ever take up a coaching role or a mentor role, batting coach role, if I ever play again, I will want to take my family with me as much as I can. And 3 months away from home doesn't make sense. Alrighty, that is that. I'm out of breath, and AB the GOAT, I appreciate it, Dutch. I appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for signing in. I know it's not easy on a Sunday the 8th of December. A fan of all your shots and innings this time for Africa. Bavuma lifts the first WTC mace. That'll be wonderful. And I'm very proud of Themba Bavuma. I have worked with him for 18 months now. Not worked with him digitally. Been talking to him about all my techniques back in the day. And he wanted to know about it, which I really appreciated and I have so much respect for. I'd never look down on someone and feel like I can coach you and you need to listen to me. He came to me and said, just share some ideas. What do I think about this, the movement there? What did I think facing spin here? What's my biggest challenge? What are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? And he wanted to learn from my mistakes and also the stuff that I did well. So I'm very happy for him. He scored 4 50s in a row now in Test match cricket. Incredible achievement. He was under the pump, very similar to Rohit Sharma. He's now, everyone wanted Themba Bavuma out of the team 6 months ago, talking about how bad his form is. He doesn't look inspirational as a leader. And look where he's now, very close to qualifying for that final in the WTC. They're right there. They can almost taste it. And he's at the forefront, leading by example, leading as captain. And I'm in a lot of friendship groups as well, close mates of mine who had personal goes at him, which really upset me. So I'm very happy to announce to all of them, shush. I say that with a bit of a tongue in the cheek as well. They are my friends, but now they can keep quiet. Guys, that's a wrap for today. Thanks for signing in on a Sunday. I know it's a family day for everyone. So wherever you are in the world, happy Sunday. We are going on holiday tomorrow as a family. I cannot wait. It's also my mother-in-law's birthday tomorrow. So we are going for a lunch to their house now at 1 o'clock South African time to celebrate because we will not be here tomorrow. So happy birthday, Mom. That is my mother-in-law. I will be seeing my own mother, though, my biological mother, this coming holiday in a few days' time. Wherever we are going on holiday, she's there. So my dad will also be there. Guys, follow me on socials, Facebook, Instagram, and also X. Also, sign up to this channel. Subscribe, please, and hit that bell notification. Crucial. Where's the bell notification? There. Because if you don't, then you miss my live sessions. You miss whenever I release a show. And look out for those Hindi shows coming up. I'm looking forward to how that's going to evolve and hopefully get more people who speak Hindi and different languages on board the 360 show. Thanks for joining me today. Have a wonderful weekend. If you're about to go on holiday, be safe on the roads. Have a great time. Remember, family comes first. And also Christmas coming up and New Year's. I will be in touch with regards to that. But if I don't see all of you, I'll start saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's already. Have a great time. Have a great December. And I'll see you guys on the 360 show this coming week. Take care.